Welcome to Growing Young with the EMCC. So let's talk about what we're doing and how you can get involved. In 2023, the EMCC Next Gen team recognized an urgent need. Churches love their younger generations, but they often struggle to fully engage and retain them. And so that inspired the launch of Growing Young in 2025. It's a 2-year pilot offering with church-wide cohorts, podcasts, and workshops to help churches experiment, learn, and grow together. So that leads us to ask, what exactly is Growing Young and why does it matter? Well, Growing Young helps church communities walk alongside and influence the next generation of Jesus followers, and they're forming a shared future together. So our goal is to see church families become and stay generationally diverse by intentionally prioritizing those who are under 25. It's about shifting our church culture so that younger generations can encounter Jesus with us for the long haul. In short, it's really about taking what we have and multiplying it. So here's something I really want you to consider. 77% of people who follow Jesus make that decision before age 22, and 83% between the ages of 4 and 14. These are key years of openness to Jesus. But in Canada, over 37% of those born since 1997 have never attended church. So many people are open to Jesus, but they've never experienced his love through his gathered body, which is the very community that could guide them in faith. And that's why the EMCC is invested in younger generations, because they represent over 100 church families that are passionately committed to following Jesus and making disciples that make more disciples. And then there's also some huge benefits to having younger people around, right? So here's a couple of them. Churches experience more service, more innovation, more resources, and general overall health when actually younger generations are actively involved. So the gift of having younger generations is just too important for us to leave only in the kids or youth ministry areas. Just like in Jesus' parable of the talents, we're called to put off fear and comfort and get out there and multiply what we've been given. This call to discipleship, it's actually for all of us. The whole church matters, and that's what Growing Young is about. Now, to see what worked, we actually looked to some research. So Fuller Youth Institute studied churches that were growing young, and they found 6 core values that most churches growing young shared. These are practical ways churches engage younger generations, and I'm going to walk you through them. The first one is called apprentice-style leadership, or keychain leadership. Now, every church has leaders. You've got staff, volunteers, parents, and churches that grow young empower young people to lead. They share power, they share skills, they share access, and they intentionally scaffold them up and into responsibility. The second one is empathy. We want to listen for, and we want to seek to understand younger generations' questions that come about identity, purpose, and belonging. So empathy is about leaning into those feelings and experiences, not having to fix all the problems, but walking alongside them. Our third one is practicing the way of Jesus, or taking Jesus' message seriously. So you know the way of Jesus is good news. It's not just what we're saved from, but it's what and who we are saved for. And so following him calls us to live our faith in every part of our life, not just on Sundays. Younger generations crave this kind of authentic faith. 4, fueling warm community connection. So, connections don't just happen in programs, right? They happen in those everyday moments when we're not rushing. You know, times when we share a coffee. Hospitality, care, belonging, these happen in those moments, and they create a warm, home-like atmosphere. 5, prioritizing those under 25. So this is a big one. Churches that grow younger put young people at the center of their philosophy, worship, staffing, budgets. They're always asking the question, how can a young person participate here? And they ask that in every area of ministry. They also support and partner with families along the way. And then our final one is be the best neighbors. So we all need to make a difference. And teens and emerging adults, they do too. They benefit from clear pathways to learning to love their neighbors, showing mercy and honoring what's good and just. Mentoring communities also help them discover their calling and live as good neighbors in every part of life. Churches that live out these 6 values will keep adapting and growing young. But none of this is actually enough just on its own, because at the heart of it all, there's real foundation, and it's prayer. So, we are asking God to change us all, to take what we offer him and then to multiply it. And I know change is hard, but Jesus said that the harvest is ready, and he said that the Spirit is already at work, and that we were to join him in his mission. And as a mom and a youth leader and a kids volunteer, I have seen again and again that God hears and he answers. There's nothing more powerful than when he turns his ear towards us. And so I share with you Psalm 116:1, which has been stuck in my heart. I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy. Because he turned his ear to me, I will call on him as long as I live. And that's why our Next Gen team at the EMCC, together with the churches in our 18-month cohort, will be gathering monthly to pray, and we invite you to pray alongside of us. Finally, we invite you to connect with us through the EMCC website to learn more or to chat about how we can support you and your church on this journey.